Canadians. It's an honor to share this venue with all of you and to follow such inspiring speakers. I think a few of the things that I wanted to say, Kat said, so I'll just keep it short. No, I am a researcher, a technical researcher and a liaison for the Stalo Tribal Council and People of the River Referrals Office, and I work with Kat, and you know the conversations that happen in our office are, you know, it's overwhelming, where applications much like the Avitas application on different scales, from lifting a telephone pole to forestry plans in sacred areas like Samath Mountain. These applications roll in every day, and on average we get about 400 applications for developments in the territory in a year, on average. So some years we get more than that, and there's probably one of me and 4 officers and chiefs and councils that are stretched as thin as the paper they sign their names on. And really, we have to prioritize, and it's not fair that we have to prioritize how we work and when we work, and when we can work together, and when something gets more attention than something else. The truth is, we're not victims, we're survivors. I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor. You are not a victim, you're a survivor. And I see a lot of gray hair in the audience today, and I have a lot of respect for elders because your voice carries through to the ones in your families. I hope your grandchildren and your children listen to you about these causes, and maybe someday you can get them out standing next to you for something like this. I know if my grandma said, hey babe, I'm gonna go to this rally, I'd be right there with her, making sure she was safe, and that if she was tired she could sit down, right? This is something that's equally as important as caring for the environment, as caring for ourselves. When I pulled up today, Spockus was sitting in the tree. There was an eagle sitting in the tree when we pulled up. That's strength, right? That's the ancestors are with us, and in recent days and in the past weeks, I've come to listen to a couple of elders bring out the same message. When you're listening to different people speak and the same message comes again and again, it clicks, right? And that message is really about welcoming ceremony into our process. Welcoming ceremony. I mean, this is where governance comes from. Here in this land, governance is in the ceremony itself. Are we feeding the river? That's governance. Yes, we're feeding the river. Are we feeding it enough? I don't know. Are we planting enough trees? I don't know. I've seen hundreds of trees planted over the last few years, and I think we should all be carrying them seeds and throwing them out our windows, and alder and cottonwood will take to that. So, and cattails, alder, cattails, and cottonwood, if you want to throw them out your windows, they'll grow. We all probably know that if they're growing in our yards. Last year there was a really excellent Water Day event in downtown Chilliwack. Was anybody there? A few of you were there. Was that a water wealth event? Yep. That was a fantastic event. I see you all have signs. I'd imagine some of these are reused. And that's great. No, that's great. A big part of our contributions is the gesture itself. And what I mean by that is every simple gesture that we have for the land and for the water matters. Every good thought we have for the land and for the water matters. Every single time you don't spit in the water, or you don't spill something in the water, that matters, right? And when it's done deliberately and with good intent, it matters all that much more. We're working on water governance in Stalo organizations, but one of the interesting things is people ask, So where are your laws? Where are your laws? You know, we can answer that question. For the most part, they're in the oral history, they're in the hearts of the people, they're in the land themselves. If you know of a transformer site or a place that has a name and a story, there's governance there and there's laws there. How do you translate that into like a Western form of law without diminishing the value of it? That's the real question. That's the question. Is it going to matter in 100 years if we write our laws tomorrow? Are the laws going to be the same way in 100 years? Will they have more value if we leave them as is? I don't want to be the one to answer that question. That's one of the questions I have for our people when we say we need to write our laws. So with that, I have a song about water, but I didn't know there'd be a microphone. I thought I'd be kind of yelling it out, so I had something planned. This song, I wrote this song a couple years ago, and it was inspired by the issues from